your $6 million is due in cash in 90 days, or we're going to take your building from you.
Or Andy, take this new interest rate.
Yeah, or here's your new 14% interest rate. Right.
Wow.
Yes.
So banks are storing away tens of billions of dollars for loan losses. Storing commercial real estate debt is part of the reason. We kind of talked about this with Elon Musk a couple weeks ago, but I want to hear what you guys are seeing or feeling if it's going to hit residential.
I mean, I'm like a broken record on that. I just think that, nothing has cut off residential yet. I think the only thing that can is inventory. The inventory is not going to happen. It's just not. It's just too many people are in situations that they're like, you know what? We're hanging. I'm staying. We'll just kind of fix what we have here, unless they're making a drastic flip in a switch. I'm just talking to people. They have, 2.6% interest rate, and they're going to go to 6. It's double. And people really take a pause at that. If there's anything that's happening out there and the market kind of gets naughty and mean and people are thinking something's going to happen, they just freeze and we just stay.
Well, and I think a lot of what article is talking about is something that doesn't directly, of course, banks are banks, right? So we all think they're doing the same services to every customer. But different customers, like commercial properties or commercial lending, is a lot different. For example, let's say the local down in your corner, you have that local strip mall where you have the Starbucks coffee, you have the hardware store, and then there's 6 spots that are open. And retail, like we've all seen it because we all still order from Amazon, retail's really taken a hit. So these little strip malls that are out there, if they have debt on them, which most of them do, most smart business people, debt is leverage. And so they use that leverage to buy more stuff, and then they make more appreciation on more stuff, right? So in theory, you see billionaires get richer. And then in this situation, what we're worried about is these little banks, these mom and pop banks that were lending at a local level where these big banks would not lend that individual the money to build that strip mall. So let's say the hardware store guy, it's his dream to own a hardware store. He builds his own building and he builds a couple, rental units next to him, and he's doing fine. But now the bank decides, because the way the Fed changes the rules, says, hey, we have to call your note due. Sorry, your $6 million is due in cash in 90 days, or we're going to take your building from you.
Or Andy, take this new interest rate.
Yeah, or here's your new 14% interest rate. Right.
Wow.
Yes. So that we can at least make money to bear the risk. Now, what happens is these banks don't have enough reserves for these banks to start defaulting. So hence the old way of doing the books, like we used to do way back when, like back in 1971, when they actually used to have a bank used to have the reserves to lend the money. And that since 1971, the year I was born, that's changed. But now it's all paper, it's print, it's fake anyway. But everybody's concerned about is these little banks getting squeezed. So the little banks all of a sudden have to have all these big reserves to cover their big losses, or they're going to lose their ability to lend. There's a lot of conspiracy theory people out there talking about this, where they're saying the government wants little banks to go away and they want just big banks and just big business. And I'm telling you, man, that's Big Brother 101. And I warn everybody, start depositing in the little banks, start helping the little banks out, because they're the ones that will give you the loan to start your small business. They're the ones that will give you the loan or give you the donation for your little youth sports event. A lot of times the big guys don't. That's my personal opinion, not Chris's or anybody else's, but I struggle with that. I like to support the little guy.
Very true. So you can say my name. That's fine.
Ditto. The cool way to do it, Chris, is just say ditto.
Ditto.